Okay, so this drawing, the inspiration, the holiday is Mother's Day. And every year when I think of Mother's Day, I think of a news clip, a news reel where it was, I don't know, evening news, morning news, something like that. And the news anchor was explaining a survey that said what mothers really wanted for Mother's Day. So I'm going to start off by drawing the oval for the cucumber here for the mask. And this is the middle, right? So above middle is where the oval for the cucumber will start. So yeah, so for the news broadcast, the news anchor was explaining why or what mothers really wanted for Mother's Day. And the news anchor, when I tell you, she just spoke from the depths of her soul. And she looked in the camera and said, the survey says what mothers really want for Mother's Day is to be left alone. And every time I see that clip, I'm like, you are speaking so much truth here. Yes, mothers just want to be left alone on Mother's Day. They just want some peace and quiet. But, she misspoke. What the survey was supposed to say was mothers really want like flowers and gifts and something. And it was hilarious. She had to apologize like mid sentence when she realized her goof. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. What it's supposed to say is, mothers really want, gifts and flowers and chocolates, yada, yada. But yeah, she was speaking for herself and so many other mothers when she said, what mothers really want is to be left alone for Mother's Day. So, yes, this drawing reflects her very true statement. I don't know about that survey they were given. I think it was a made up survey. It had to be because what mothers really want for Mother's Day is to be left alone. So, here for this drawing is a mom getting a very relaxing, a very well deserved, spa type facial mask with the cucumbers. I haven't decided if she's wearing a facial mask on her face yet, like one of those cream masks or something. So I'll leave that up to you. You can, actually color a mask on her or just leave it skin tone. It's up to you. But we have our oval here for the cucumber. Once you have the oval for the cucumber, then we're going to add a curve on the inside of that oval. And this will just show that it's a slice. So here will be like the skin portion, and this will be the inner slice of the cucumber. Now we have to know it's a cucumber. I have to add some seeds there. There are different types of cucumbers. The seeds can go any which way, but the seeds in this cucumber are more triangular. So from each corner of that triangle, the seeds will sprout out. So I'm just gonna draw a triangle here. And then from each corner, we'll add these little leaf seed shapes popping out. I will definitely find that news clip and And I tell you, it was hilarious. She just looked into the camera. She's like, what mothers really want is peace and quiet. Oh. But here we have different size seeds coming out. Okay, so there's our cucumber. And next will be our, I'm gonna draw that a little darker so you can see it. Okay, so next I'm drawing the curve of the face here, and I'm not going to hit the top of the page, but we want it big enough, so I'm starting here on the side of that cucumber and just rotating my wrist to the top. This will be the forehead, so this is a little smaller. And then rotating to the bottom. This is a little longer. We need space for the nose and the mouth. I'll clean it up some. Okay, so here we're sort of looking upward. So we see a little bit of the nostril flared open there. So below the bottom of the cucumber. So below the cucumber, that's where I will place a little line here, and that will be the tip of the nose. Make sure you have enough space for your mouth beneath. I think I may move that line up some. Okay, so this will just be a curve going up. It should not touch the cucumber. There should be space in between. Okay, so curve going up and then down into a hook. And then we'll put a letter C, quotation mark next to it for the outside of the nose. Okay, then we have the bridge of the nose. We're not fully seeing it, but we know there's an indent somewhere. So here at the top of that C, just imaginary line going upward. And then about midway our cucumber here, we'll draw a curved line sort of pointing towards the cucumber. And above that, we'll add some short dashes here, some short spikes for the eyebrow. And it just goes into the cucumber there because she's relaxing. She has her eyes covered. Okay, so next we have the mouth. Now, once again, we're sort of looking upward at the face somewhat. So the mouth, we're going to make sure the mouth is not just straight, but it hooks upward, right? Showing a curve of that bottom lip. So midway between the chin and the tip of the nose, I'm going to find the middle. It's about here. This will be the middle of our mouth. So it's in the middle there. Okay, so next we need the little Cupid's bow. So now here between the middle of the tip of the nose and the middle of the mouth, the midway mark is about here. So I'm going to draw a diagonal line going up, and then midway between the middle of the mouth and the chin, we'll find the middle about here, and we're marking it. Now, we want the mouth to extend just a little bit past where the nose, the edge of the nose lines up. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line, and then when it meets up to about the same line as the side of the nose, and I'm going to curve downward just a little bit, and then a little hook. Add just a little bit of a curve to that. Okay, so now we have that diagonal line for the top of the mouth. At the top, we're just adding a curve going down, and it's going to somewhat meet the end of that line. It's not touching, but it'll get really close. And the same thing with the bottom. Curved line going up. And it gets really close, but it does not touch. There we go. We have the mouth, the nose, the face is good. Next, let's go ahead and add the neck. The neck is going to line up with about the middle of the cucumber here. Same thing. The middle of the cucumber here, that's where the neck will be. So I'm gonna put my finger there. Line comes down. Okay. And she's wearing a cute fluffy robe. here on the side. So we'll do the same thing. We'll add a curved line here towards the bottom. And then 2 curved line, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's her robe. Next, she has a head wrap, maybe a headband, towel. We'll add curved lines here on the top to give that folded layered look. So below the cucumber, that's where we're starting these curved lines for the head wrap. And I'm just curving my wrist. And we'll add another up a little higher. Goes off the page. And we'll add in some more lines to imply some folds here. I'll add a curve at the top. And there we go. There's her face. I hope she's relaxed. All right, so for the hair, her hair is loose in the back. It's curled, it's coily. So it almost reminds me of like geographic maps and land masses and water. But we're gonna add in her hair now. So sketching that out, this is very free form. You're not drawing exact as this, okay? You're adding in loops, curves going in and out, okay? Some bumps here and there. Curve that goes out, but then it goes back in. It has a bump, it goes back in and out. There you go. So that's the general shape of the hair. And then to add in these additional like coils that we're talking about, I add in smaller bumps. So in here, I'll add in another bump there, another bump on top, here. Smaller bumps and loops here and there. Right? And then, like this little curl that's hanging out here, I'll add on a spiral like this. It's a couple of spirals, 1, 2, and I'll add in more. Wherever seems natural for you. Add on some more bumps and then a spiral. More little bumps. They're almost like maybe little fingers coming out. It's just giving more depth to the texture of hair. Because if you add just like a circle, then it's gonna look like just a circle. But adding these little defining curls and marks makes it look more real. I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually fashioned after a person rather than a shape. Okay. So we have the general outline of the hair. Next, let's add some texture here on the inside, and it's the same idea, adding these spirals. There no rhyme or reason to them because the hair is being free. She's relaxed. She's not worried about it. Add as few or as many as you like. I think that's good for me. So, to make it feel even more natural, I added in some, there you go. Added in some fruit here and a flower here at the top. I usually don't color this before I do the second drawing, but I couldn't resist. I had to add some color in. So here we have an orange slice at the bottom. So let's draw that curve here in that free corner. We're using up all the space in this drawing. Here's the first curve. I want to make it a little larger, so I'll add another curve around it, and this will be the outer skin, the outer rind of the orange. And then next, we will create a middle for our orange. And I'll just divide these up into the slices that we know them to be by drawing these diagonal lines going through the middle. So there's one. Let's go ahead and make it an X shape. 2. 3. 4. Okay. And then right now it's looking boxy. It looks like a pie chart. So to make it more natural, at every intersection here where the slice meets the outer rind, I'm going to draw a curve on either side of that line. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you can erase that inner straight line there. Okay, there's our orange. Next, we have this flower that's just floating in her hair here at the top. We're just going to draw on top of the hair. Okay, so ignore all the curls and stuff that we drew here. We're drawing the flower on top. So that starts with, I'm defining the middle. So here's a circle for the middle of our flower, and we're going to build outward. So the first petal will be this top one. pointing upward. And it's a similar shape as to the cucumber seeds, but there will be a point at the end. So it's wide in the middle, pointy on the end, right? So wide in the middle, pointy on the end. And this petal is leaning over. So starting here in the middle, we'll draw it sort of flopping down and then coming back to middle. And then we have this bottom petal. It curves down almost like a U shape, goes back up. Do the same thing. U shape, go back up. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We need 2 more. We're drawing this bottom leaf. It's wider in the middle, pointed in. Wider in the middle. And then our last one, it's going to slightly overlap here. So starting here in the middle, pointed end, and then meets at the bottom. I'll make that a little smaller there. Okay, so she has a flower in her hair. I'm going to erase those inner lines. There we go. There it is, y'all. So this is Mother's Day. All mothers really want is peace and quiet. Yeah, I really hope you color this in. As I said, for the face, you can color in the face skin tone color, or you can maybe put on a mask. Maybe it's a charcoal mask or avocado mask and color the face that color. It's up to you. But this is for Mother's Day. Hope you enjoy. Hope you get some peace and quiet. And I think I'm going to add the title here. Where? Okay. Mother's Day. ... Peace and quiet. And there she is. Happy Mother's Day. Spend time with your mom. Spend time with the person who has cared for you, and show them some love. Okay. Bye.